episode 8 of 5 Out, a Ball Knowers podcast. My name is Graham Dinas. I am going to be running the point today. I am once again being joined by Brendan Evers, Nick Triplett, and Lance Thomas. Sanket Patel will be joining us here briefly to talk about the Cubs. We got a lot to talk about today. Baseball, playoffs, divisionals are wrapping up. We've got a little bit of a hockey preview coming for you guys, and then obviously we're going to preview this weekend's football slate. Before we get started, links are in the description to our Twitter, our Instagram, and our YouTube page. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel on YouTube. And then also, I believe, I could be wrong, I think our website link is at the top of the description now as well. So if you just want to click on that, we will have articles coming soon. Austin is working diligently on the website, and it is, I believe, very close to being ready. But without any further ado, let's get into the game of the playoffs, certainly thus far. 15 innings of seemingly never-ending missed opportunities between the Detroit Tigers and the Seattle Mariners, with Seattle winning in 15, 3-2 off of a walk-off single by Jorge Polanco.
Nobody knows how to sack bunt anymore.
So I was going to go into a tirade, and I can do it now as soon as we start the show, about how execution in baseball has fallen off.
That's what the people are here for, Graham.
I'd like to think that I have a foot in the old school camp and the new school camp. I understand both sides. But with the changes that were made in the rules in the regular season, where you have a ghost runner placed on second base in extra innings so these games can end more quickly, and all you have to do is get a hit in extras and you can score a run. But then for the playoffs, you take that ghost runner away, and these teams cannot string together multiple hits. They can't lay down a bunt to move a guy into scoring position. Over and over again, you see these coaches calling for sack bunts to get, there was at least 3 leadoff singles in the extras last night, and none of those guys scored until the last inning. It's just infuriating to watch as a high school baseball player.
How many different innings were there where double plays just wrapped up the inning? I know at least the 13th and 14th.
Eugenio Suarez grounded into at least 3 double plays last night, most of which after the 9th inning.
That is incredible.
But they did a second salmon race, so that's what turned the tides.
That actually could be true.
I cannot believe that we had to sit through 15 innings to watch the Tigers and the Mariners. We had the Yankees and the Red Sox. We've had the Phillies and the Dodgers. We've had the Cubs and the Brewers play against one another. We've had all these great matchups, and we were stuck with the Mariners and the Tigers playing 15 innings. Tigers just completely forgot how to get people on base.
This is not the Nick Triplett that I've grown to know.
I was going to say, Nick Triplett, I know right up your alley.
I love to watch 15 innings of Tigers and Mariners.
I don't know what it is. It's like, it felt like last year the Tigers were this love story that everybody was able to just fall towards. And this year, I just feel like they are public enemy number 1. And maybe part of that is just because the Mariners are in the playoffs again, and I'm just like a Mariners bandwagon by the time August comes around. And so personally, I'm happy that Seattle moves on. I'm excited to see some new blood in the ALCS. But I think part of it is just, take a look at Detroit's lineup. I know that a lot of it is a development team, and you have to give credit to them that they've made it this far 2 years in a row. But at some point, you have to wonder if Tigers leadership is going to be questioning if this is the lineup that's going to lead them to something further than the divisional series, or if they're going to have to do something big this offseason. There's a big difference between the Mariners and the Tigers, and the Mariners was that team. They were the ones that actually went out and picked up players, not just in the trade deadline, but in the offseason. And now the Tigers might have to do that as well.
Yeah, I think 5th through 9th in the Tigers lineup, I don't know. Who do you pick as the best hitter there? Is it Javier Baez batting 9th?
No, it's not.
Who's your biggest chance to get an RBI
hit? It's gotta be
hit?
Zach McKinstry, right? It's got to be Zach McKinstry.
Yeah, but is that good? I mean, are you trusting Dylan Dingler to get you an RBI double in the postseason?
Came into the playoffs very hot. He did. Yeah, he hasn't been great in the postseason,
but I think Detroit was always built on starting pitching. Yeah. But they were not built as a lineup that scores a bunch of runs, which I think where teams get hurt in the playoffs, because unlike in the regular season, managers are not going to put up with a pitcher that is just having a bad inning. And you're not going to get in the playoffs a guy just like, this is your inning. Like, no, if you give up a couple hits in a row, you're out. Like, next guy.
My conclusion.
And if you go ahead.
I'll go. My conclusion is that the AL Central is actually playing a completely different sport than the rest of the league. You saw, I mean, in that wild card series between Detroit and Cleveland.
Have we really kept up with any
Oh, that's not good.
Royals game the last few months? I mean, really, am I gone?
Okay, you're good now, I think.
Wait.
All right, so let's guess what he said. I think he was asking if we've watched the Twins or Royals in the last few months.
I heard the Twins for sure. I mean, the Twins had their fire sale. Well. The Twins are the closest team in the AL Central to playing real baseball, and then they traded everyone away.
It's funny that they had their fire sale and they still have Byron Buxton, they still have Royce Lewis, and they still have a couple other pitching prospects and stars. But I mean, the Tigers, you have to give credit to the Tigers for the fact that the one thing that they went after at the trade deadline was relief pitchers. They went towards helping their bullpen, and I think that really showed off last night. It's just a shame that they weren't able to pull anything off offensively. And so, once again, it's at this turning point for the Detroit Tigers of, you've got the Royals where they're in a weird spot. You've got the Twins that seemingly aren't going to be competing next year, and the White Sox. And who knows what the Guardians are going to do. Are they going to try to buy? Are they going to try to maybe rebuild a little bit? The Tigers have this perfect opportunity, this window that's open where they can go out and try to win championships. But they are going to have to make a couple moves during this offseason. I mean, they're really going to have to figure out, is Spencer Torkelson the guy that they want at first base? And I know he had a better year this year, but is he the guy that they stick with there? Some of these other players that have come up recently, you've had Parker Meadows, you've had Colt Keith come up. This is great, but are they going to be able to provide for a full season next year? They really fell off in the second half. I don't know if they can carry that into next year and be that solid team in the first half once again. And one thing that might really help them out is having a little bit of their roster be experienced in the postseason. That's helped a bit with Javier Baez. He knows what it takes to win a World Series, but who knows if we're going to have a lot of other players take that postseason experience and really thrive off of it next year.
Next year is their last year of team control for Skubal as well. He would hit the market in 2026, 27. So I think you go all in on winning the Central again next year. You have to beef up the lineup. Javier Baez is great, but if you can find a way to improve up your middle infield, Parker Meadows really struggled in the postseason, and he wasn't great in the regular season. They have areas they need to beef up in the lineup. You mentioned the improvements they made in their bullpen. That bullpen gave up, did they give up 2 runs? Skubal gave up 1, if I'm remembering correctly? Yeah. In 9 innings of work? You can't ask for much more than that.
No, and I'll even say this as well. I mean, we talked about how they've really become a team of starting pitching, but they still need to get a bit better, because if you remember last year in the playoffs, it was always Tarik Skubal starting the series, and then it just became a bullpen day every day after that. It's been an unsteady pitching roster, and there's got to be some sort of improvement coming into next year, because if this Tigers leadership doesn't show that they're going to want to invest in the club and really want to win, then what's Tarik Skubal going to say to that? I mean, he could very easily take off after next year, and then the Tigers are back to square one once again.
Let's talk on the Mariners side of this. They advanced to the ALCS.
He's going to be a fucking Dodger, isn't he? Oh my God, I can just see it.
Yeah,
I hope not.
It's gonna happen.
He's got Yankee written all over him.
I think Red Sox, but at the same, like, I don't know why. I just picture him being a Boston Red Sox, but they also have Crochet, so I don't know
Who's
if they're trying
Skubal?
if they're trying to corner the market on every like top 10 lefty.
So I mean, that's what I was gonna go back to. I mean, the first basemans are open too, though, this year.
Yeah, you got
So
Pete Alonso. If you're gonna improve,
this market in the offseason is going to be crazy too. Like I'm sure you guys have seen too the amount of Phillies that are hitting the market as well.
So,
and like half the Padres are hitting the market.
Yeah.
Like there's going to be players out there for the taking.
Yes. And so like that goes to the first base market. I mean, who's going where? We got Pete Alonso. Kyle Schwarber is going to be a big shout. I mean, you could put him anywhere now. I mean, you could put him in the outfield, or you can transfer him to a first baseman. I know he has a little bit of first base experience, but like we got first basemen on the market now.
Hopefully Nick
there
will
goes Nick.
join us.
You going?
Yes.
There he
is.
That was quick. All right, I gotta reorganize everyone now. Looking at the Mariners side of this, this is going to be really confusing for the people watching. They used all three of their starting pitchers in last night's game. They went to Gilbert for the 10th and the 11th. Kirby started the game. They went to Gilbert for the 10th and the 11th, and then Castillo closed it out. So they are going to take on Toronto tomorrow in Game 1. You have to assume bullpen game there, but they used all their starters in the game last night. Are they going to do 2 bullpen games? Because their bullpen's also exhausted from pitching 15 innings yesterday as well.
I just assume. Yeah.
Do they put somebody on their ALCS roster that wasn't in the NLDS roster, like a starting pitcher?
We need an injury update on Brian Wu. He'd be the guy.
Yes.
He would be a guy they would have started over. Like, he may have started over Castillo in that series. The Mariners have
Either that
starting rotation in the playoffs, certainly.
Either that, or I think they just they go in there and they do a bullpen game, but then at the end of the day, they accept the loss and they just try to save as many arms as they can, and then just go for the next day.
They've got 7 games. Like, I don't want to say any playoff game is less urgent than the last one. But
they
are in a 7-game series instead of 5 now.
Of course, but like when you're down that much pitching, you either sacrifice 3-4 arms and save the rest of your arms for the next day. I mean, and just accept it. I mean, if you win, that's great on you, but I mean, you might just go out there and be like, all right, guys, this is all you. I mean, we can't use any more arms.
I'm assuming Savage will go Game 1 for the Blue Jays. He only threw the one game in the DS against the Yankees, and he looked really good in that game, which we'll get to that series later. For now, let's move on. We've got Game 5 today, the last divisional series. The Cubs are traveling back to Milwaukee, where they lost the first 2 games of the series, but they're coming in riding hot off of a 2-game win streak in Octigley.
Octigley.
Do we have a pitching?
Also heard Rigtober.
Rigtober. We got
Octigley's much more funny. It's
also harder to say though.
Yes. For sure. That's
what makes it so much better. Octigley.
Exactly. Happy Octigley. I'm assuming Shota's going today. I don't know if he's starting or not. I think we've seen how the Brewers
I would say almost certainly no.
Has jumped.
I was about to say, if Shota's in, how do our Cubs representatives feel here?
No, I've heard, and I've seen more speculation that it could be Colin Ray, and I've also heard that they might go with an opener.
I believe opener is almost certainly in play.
Christian Yelich, especially at the top of that lineup for the Brewers, has been kind of owned by Cubs left-handed pitching. So there was another thought that they might go Drew Pomeranz off the start today. But they might go with Shota at some point, just matchup wise, where it makes sense. But they're not going to have him out there for the heart of the Milwaukee order, with William Contreras coming up right-handed against him again. So I think Shota Imanaga will pitch today, but it will be some sort of Colin Ray, maybe an opener. I also heard that potentially Matthew Boyd could come out of the bullpen today. Like there was a lot of speculation from that in a scenario where he'd come up against Christian Yelich again, because Christian Yelich has not hit well off of his sinker or his curveball. And you saw it in Game 4. The sinker that he struck him out on in the 5th inning was not really close to the strike zone. It just didn't look like Yelich saw it much. So it'll truly be all hands on deck for the Cubs. As a Cubs fan, I'm worried about potentially who Milwaukee starts, because the upside for Jacob Misiorowski, if he is starting, which that hasn't been confirmed yet, is so much higher than anyone that is on the Cubs roster.
You know we're seeing Misiorowski.
He couldn't. The downside is there's a chance he doesn't throw strikes to the Brewers, and that could be bad.
Yeah. In this game today, we are seeing Misiorowski, whether he's going to be coming from the bullpen or he start. I mean, it doesn't matter how we're going to see him today, and I feel like we're going to see him at least for 3 innings. So we gotta figure something out because he shut us out last time. And the crowd is, I feel like, is going to be a factor, because I know the crowd was a factor at Wrigley. I don't know if you heard that we were screaming Freddie Peralta's name in the 1st inning of Game 4. Like,
hey, sometimes you got to resort to mind games in the playoffs.
That's the most ominous chant in American sports, I think.
Also,
European soccer has their own stuff.
Brendan, are we gonna go with the same lineup that we have not changed the lineup at all? Do we just go with the same lineup?
Yeah, why not? I mean, the Cubs' offense has put pressure every inning.
Yes.
The only bat that I've been disappointed by, but he's had a great moment, was Pete Crow Armstrong, just still swinging at everything.
Yes, he is not laid off the high fastball in the top of the zone. I feel like he's the Javier Baez of the slider.
Well, I also, I don't know. There's two guys that I think are easier outs than the rest in the Cubs lineup, and it's Matt Shaw and Pete Crow Armstrong. But Matt Shaw does one thing that Pete Crow Armstrong hasn't done all season, which is unstrap the leg guard, take base. Or take the base, like walk.
Yep.
Just walk, man.
Yeah.
But even like Dansby Swanson hasn't had like a great moment at the plate. But I feel like he's going to make you throw maybe 6 pitches every time he goes up there.
Yeah.
Quality of that. Quality.
And then the top of the lineup, I've stayed with Ian Happ. Literally,
I love Ian Happ.
For years. I hate watching Cubs fans make this like Happ doesn't deserve to be in the lineup. Owen Casey is the next guy. Like, get this guy off my field because he, for whatever reason, they have this built up in his head that he can't get a hit with runners in scoring position. Ian Happ has consistently been like a top 20 player in most walks every year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Since in the last like 5 years, and he has some power, and he's a switch hitting bat, which is very valuable. In addition to playing decent defense.
He's a Gold Glover, multiple-time Gold Glover.
Yeah.
Ian Happ.
The left field slot in the NL is a little weak. I would say if you've watched Ian Happ play defense.
Left field Gold Glove then. Remember when Ozuna won a Gold Glove?
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. He might be the best of very average defenders. I think if you look at his Savant page, it's like 45 to like 60 in those ranges. Like, it's right down the middle in the fielding stats. Maybe it's worse. I think his arm value is okay, but I think the amount of ground he can cover is not it.
I just think of Ozuna eating shit when he tried catching them.
Yeah, that was awesome.
You know what? We're gonna watch that clip.
Oh god.
I love that.
Every time I watch that clip,
It just makes you shake your head, man. What are you doing?
I think it's impossible not to feel a little bit of joy watching somebody else think, I'm going to have this great moment here. I'm going to scale the fence and catch this ball. And then it's like, oh, it actually died at the front of the warning track.
Phillips.
I could imagine watching that like right there in left field or right field. I think it was left field. But.
What do you think the bullpen thought?
Imagine being him.
But what do you think? What do you think the bullpen's thought? Thinking like he's on the fence, and then you just see the ball. He's like just coming up short. Like, go.
Oh
Here he
my
goes.
gosh, dude.
What? He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
He's
Oh, He's
Okay, that's
the ground. Devastating.
oh, what a
Oh, that's.
You have to act
That's
injured.
crushing.
You have to.
Is he hurt?
No, he's
No.
oh, the
Wait,
ego's
shut
hurt
up.
for sure.
The traitor
That was the
started
e-
to jog down. Oh man, unreal.
By the way, that's
Shout
the
out to
visitor
Mike
bullpen
Myers.
there.
That's a name.
yes, that's the visitor bullpen. So they're probably
Do you
dying.
think they're
laughing.
chirping him
I
after
would
that?
laugh so hard.
yes.
100%. I think if you're a Cardinal fan, you're chirping them.
Oh yeah.
Every fly ball to left. Ozuna, it's at the wall. Get back, get back, get back.
I would have loved to know who was on commentary for that. I would have loved to hear what Tim McCarver had to say to that.
Was that-
I
What a
miss Tim
moment.
McCarver so much.
There was a day in high school where I was like, I think just during math class, I was just watching that clip repeatedly and like laughing out loud while the lecture was happening. That's the funniest clip I think that's happened in sports the last 10 years.
Dude,
Maybe
awesome.
ever.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about briefly. Let's go over the other two series. So the Dodgers on Thursday night clinched their NLDS win in 4 over the Phillies on an Orion Kerkering throwing error at the end of the game, which you got to give some sympathy to that guy because, I mean, when you bobble that ball and you like that, you could see the panic set in on his face, and he was put into a tough spot.
He made his
anyway.
pitch too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did everything that he should be asked to do. It just so happened that the ball got hit right to him.
If there was one
But-
city
but-
I wouldn't want to mess up in, it'd be Philly. I would not want to mess up in
Yeah.
Philadelphia, man.
Look, Graham,
I mean,
or whoever here has played baseball, what are you taught when you bobble the ball?
Go to first.
And go to first. I mean, I feel like that's baseball rule number 101. Like, if you bobble that ball, that play should have been at first in his head from the beginning. But like, I understand the pressure in there, but like,
I mean,
that play should have been at first.
baseball
I'm gonna
rule
pull up the
102 obviously needs to be you've got to score more than 3 runs in a game. The Phillies, they went out and scored 3 runs in their first 2 games against the Dodgers lineup that's going to score 3 runs every inning. And I get that that's a tough play by Kerkering, but I mean, we're looking at the Phillies scoring 1 run in 11 innings. The fact that they're able to make it 11 innings with the Dodgers by scoring 1 run is pure luck. And everything after that is it's pathetic for this lineup. And it's sad because it is a lineup. It's different from the Tigers. That is a lineup that should go out and score 5 or 6 runs. And
so
Yeah.
bad.
it just was they were off at the wrong time. But I'm just shocked that the Phillies for 2 years in a row now cannot score runs in October.
And I feel for the Phillies. I feel like this was their last chance. Everybody's been rooting for the Phillies. I mean, who hasn't?
Yeah.
And I think that's it. I mean, Schwarber's gone.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you,
It's sad
Sunket. Like
because go ahead.
that's a Phillies team I really liked watching. Their firepower.
Yes.
I think it's especially in the playoffs when you have a team that can just hit just straight up hit. That's a fun team to watch, and I think they might be the only Philly team, right? That maybe the world outside of Philly roots for.
Yeah.
But has their window closed? I mean, I could pull up who's going to be a free agent, but I know Schwarber and
I know
Realmuto are
Schwarber,
gone. And Ranger
Realmuto,
Suarez, I
and
believe.
Suarez. So yeah, that's 3 main guys. I saw 2 out of those 3 guys are returning because they might pay 2 out of those 3 guys, but one of those guys is probably gonna be leaving because they're gonna ask too much.
You have to be crazy to think that the Phillies are just going to let Schwarber walk away easily. I know that we had Real Muto, who has been on a decline since he was in his prime, and I don't know if they're going to bring him back. I don't know if they'll plug someone else in that catcher spot. I mean, they're still going to have a couple solid pitchers. I mean, I don't have the free agent page up, but they are going to have Aaron Nola. They are going to have Zach Wheeler. I assume that they're going to have either Sanchez or Suarez or both. That's a really solid pitching roster right there. If you can get one more pitcher to round that up, then you're still looking at a very solid team. Add on the fact that there's a lot of teams in that division that don't look very solid right now, and I think the Phillies are going to be just fine. Are they going to be that threat to the Dodgers? Maybe not, but they're still going to be a top team. At the end of the day, they just have to place themselves in October once again. And once they do that, they're going to have to do something on offense that's different because, I mean, it's a miracle that they were able to make it 4 games. And that game 3 that they played against the Dodgers, they had what, 3 runs through 8 innings? I mean, that game could have easily been turned around had the Dodgers scored a couple in those late innings.
Here's my question. Kyle Tucker or Kyle Schwarber?
For the Phillies?
Either, because they're both free agents.
They're both on the market.
They're both on the market. Who's your preference?
Well, I mean, if I were any team, I would almost have to go with Kyle Schwarber. And one of my reasons would be because you've had 2 seasons in a row where Kyle Tucker's injuries have been really evident. And add on the fact that the Phillies, they still have Nick Castellanos. They're still going to have, I assume they're still going to have Max Kepler this season. Their outfield is relatively filled up. They're going to have enough players to go out there. So I just don't know if Kyle Tucker is going to be that solid fit for them like Kyle Schwarber is going to be. Yeah. If this was a conversation maybe next year when Castellanos is a free agent, then yeah, I think you could probably sign Kyle Tucker. But I mean, Schwarber is an NL MVP candidate, and you just can't let an NL MVP candidate run away.
Both of those guys are going to get paid.
Last year. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's
year's
sad
also the
to
last
see
year
Castellanos fall down. Like that was a very sad story to see throughout the year. And I mean, it just happens with players that are getting older, but still.
Yeah, Castellanos, I think next year is a huge year for him. That's his last. Yeah. I was going to say that's the last year of his contract from what I could see. It looks like he signed through 2026. So, I mean, if he has even more back to his league or to his averages kind of year next year, and where he's just a freaking doubles machine. But I think maybe a little bit of what we saw this year with Castellanos was just the defense. Like, I think every other day you're seeing some rough look on defense from Nick Castellanos in right field. Here's the thing. There's going to be a lot more teams than just the Phillies coming calling for Kyle Schwarber. Yeah. And I would say similarly for JT Realmuto, because it's good when you have a catcher, even if they're just fine at the plate, if they can really manage the pitching staff and call great games behind the plate. I mean, that's how Martin Maldonado's hung around the league for as many years as he has, because pitchers love throwing to him, despite him never hitting more than 200 in his career or something like that. Like, I think maybe JT Realmuto is a guy that you can undervalue, like what you have in your catcher until you don't have him. We saw this as Cubs fans last year, back whenever Miguel Amaya and oh my gosh, what's the guy's name that they got rid of, or that they DFA'd like halfway through the year? Yan Gomes. Yes. Back whenever, like, every time it was a close game in the 7th inning, it's like, yep, pinch hit for the catcher. Like, guys like JT Realmuto will get paid, but man, I'm excited to see the bidding war for Kyle Schwarber, because he deserves everything that he's going to get. And by the way, on the last year of your contract, putting up a career high in homers, what did he finish with, like 58?
Yeah, it was close to 60.
Yeah.
The strikeout rate is still high, but the walk rate is also still there. Yeah. Like, there's nothing not to like about Kyle Schwarber. And not to mention, he's definitely not showing that he's fallen off. Like, he's still hitting moon shots. I've seen I've speculation from Cubs fans, like, oh, let's bring him back. But, like,
We're not
That would
paying
require Tom Ricketts to open the pocketbook a bit.
We can't pay him.
But this offseason, like, I can't think of more stars being on the market in an offseason than in a long time than this year.
At least recently, yeah.
Yeah.
I think if Schwarber goes for this Phillies team, the one thing that I will say is that it does open up flexibility defensively for them, because Schwarber's a guy that you're penciling in as your DH every day. But they've been starting Harper at first, who's a negative defensively, and they've been starting Castellanos and Wright, who, as we mentioned, is a negative defensively.
Yeah.
If Schwarber were to go and they were to bring in a different high-quality outfield bat that has some defensive upside, then that would, I mean, obviously you're going to miss out on Schwarber's offense, but the defense could be worth it. In a different
I would
way.
agree with that, and that's maybe the argument to be made for a guy like Kyle Tucker.
Yes, if the Cubs and Phillies traded Schwarber for Tucker, do both teams get better?
Yes.
I would say so, because the Cubs have this like log jam of prospects that are all corner outfielders.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And we already have a solid outfield right now. We have Tucker DHing right now. We have Suzuki, PCA, and Happ right now. But we also have Owen Casey.
Waiting. Yeah.
Exactly.
And Kevin Alcantara. I mean,
yeah, Kevin Alcantara. We have these guys in the outfield sitting and waiting. So we need that guy that's coming like off that bench or in that DH spot, just coming up there ready to hit. You know, Kyle Tucker was supposed to be doing that, and I think he just had his first home run in a while. I mean, he's not producing.
Yeah, but the problem is the nagging injuries have just derailed his second half.
Yeah.
His bat speed at one point was down like 4 miles per hour, and now it's back up to where it should be. But yeah, I think of course that won't happen now because I think we say all this and Schwarber will somehow be like a Met, and then and Kyle Tucker's going back to Houston or something like that. Like it's something
Kyle
crazy.
Tucker's going to be a
happen.
Dodger. They're both going to be Dodgers. They're both going to be on the same team, and they're both going to be a Dodger.
We could do free agency preview in the future as well. But for now, let's get into this last series. The Blue Jays beat the Yankees in 4. They really kind of shut the door.
And pull up the clip, Graham.
Yankees lose.
Pull up the clip, Graham.
Yeah.
Yankees lose.
Cut to Derek Jeter.
If we need to pull up another
lose.
clip, shout out to Buck Martinez for calling a long time ago.
The Yankees lose. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Oh, hey, let's do it again. The Yankees lose. The Yankees lose. Let's go, baby.
But you don't take it personal. I get it.
One more. The Yankees lose.
Oh my God.
Dale.
What are you doing if you're A-Rod or Jeter? If you're in that situation,
I think
what do you do?
A-Rod's gotten to a point in his career. There's so many things that he's heard from people that like that moment right there just rolls right off his back. He may not have human emotions anymore. He just he's taking it in stride. Derek Jeter felt that deep in his soul. That he took it personally, really personally. He hated that. And I saw someone tweet, I bet you there's not a soul that hates the Aaron Boone era New York Yankees more than Derek Jeter. Because every year they disappoint him in a new and exciting way. I think
it was Jeter that made a good point though. Like Aaron Boone kind of got a little bit hurt by the fact that roster construction is so tough. He's got Giancarlo. He's got essentially a bunch of DHs out there, and he's just like having to find a spot for guys. They haven't had a real first baseman like all year since Rizzo got hurt. It's been like a revolving door. And then if they don't have Aaron Judge on that team, is that even a playoff team?
I think that lineup is deep enough. I don't think it gets credit for like that. There's 7 really good hitters in that lineup. Again, defensively, it's an issue. And Judge obviously elevates everyone else in that
How
lineup.
slow is their team?
Huh?
How slow is their team?
Yeah, I mean,
Extremely slow.
I wish I could pull up. I'm not
the
going
Yankees-
to, but the Costas clip from the ALDS last year.
yeah.
And Stanton grounds into another double play. It's not his fault. He just can't run.
like when you talk about these guys, none of these guys can run, and yet they're all playing the outfield.
I'd say, I mean, like Bellinger has won a Gold Glove, right? Bellinger's a plus defender.
Yeah.
Goldschmidt is a plus defender when he's out there, but they want Ben Rice in the lineup somewhere. And since Stanton's DHing, he has to play first base. Wells is a solid catcher. McMahon's good at third. Jazz is marginal at second. Volpe's awful. Grisham's when your shortstop is horrific defensively, that sets the tone for the rest of your team defensively. And that's like their weakest point defensively. And he's also their worst hitter. So if I'm the Yankees and I'm looking to upgrade, that's the spot I do it. Like, you've given Volpe
there's a
enough
fan-sided article from last year that has the Yankees as the 5th slowest team in baseball.
I'm shocked
Who's
that's
the
not
first?
lower.
Yeah. Who's the first?
Okay, hang on. This article has the Atlanta Braves as being the slowest, which is a little shocking considering.
Did Acuna steal 70 bases last year, or was that 2 years ago?
I think that was 2 years ago because the Cubs.
He was hurt a lot of last year.
Yeah,
that's right. But I mean, that makes sense too. They're not overly quick. But yeah, the Blue Jays kind of shut the door on the Yankees early in the series. Judge hit that home run off the foul pole. I want to ask you guys this. I think hitting the foul pole is the coolest thing you can do offensively in the sport of baseball.
100%. Carson Kelly was like 8 inches away from doing it.
I think you could be down 10-1 in a May game in the 5th inning, and if you hit the foul pole, that's cooler than hitting a walk-off solo shot in the 11th inning of the NLCS.
Yeah, because it's so hard to do.
It's so much cooler. It's like the anti-doink in football. It's also the exact opposite. It's the same thing, but it's the exact opposite. I love hitting the foul pole. It's awesome.
Well, because what's great is because every time a homer's hit near there, you've got all these fans like, oh no, is it going to drift foul? Oh no, oh, it's there. It's also even better if the audio guy in the truck remembers to turn up, because almost every MLB team has a mic in the pole. So if they remember to pop that thing up and then on the broadcast you hear bong, it's awesome. That's what we need.
You know, I think the one thing that hasn't been talked about enough is what Buck Martinez talked about with the Yankees about a month ago. He was probably the only commentator that was really bold enough to say, in his opinion, that the Yankees they aren't good. They aren't what their record is. And I know that the Yankees took a lot of flack against that, and they were under this impression of, okay, let's see what happens whenever we face the Blue Jays in the playoffs. And the Blue Jays went out and they proved themselves. They proved themselves to be the best team in the East and finally maybe that top team in the American League. And I know that the Yankees we've talked about, even though they've had a couple defensive questions, that they're going to be fine. Let's remember that this team 2 weeks or 1 week before the end of the season could have very well been out of the playoffs had the Astros been good in that last week. And that's not to just say that the Yankees are falling apart, because we know that Garrett Cole's going to be back next year, and their pocketbook is always going to be open, where they could probably go get someone like Kyle Schwarber. But at the same time, I think this is a pretty.
They do not need. They do not.
Let's put Giancarlo Stanton back out there in left field.
Let's put Stanton in center.
Look, if they're gonna add another DH, you might as well bring in Kyle Schwarber.
Well, can we just eliminate like Cody Bellinger? Imagine
we might as well go
Kyle
all the way.
Schwarber, Aaron Judge, and Giancarlo Stanton in that outfield. All three.
You can hit a ground ball, ground ball that Volpe boots as the shortstop, and then it's going to be a triple because no one can get there in time. That's what I was going to make the point about Cole coming back next year, because this rotation, you have 1 through 4, Fried, Rodon, Schlittler, and then Luis Heel. Those 4 guys are all good starters, but if they could all be pushed down a spot, with Cole being your ace, then you have an argument to be the best rotation in baseball. And they lose Cole right before the season starts. They didn't have enough time to adapt and bring in another guy. You mentioned obviously
disagree. You're the Yankees. Go make a trade. Like,
Yep. Yeah.
but at the beginning of the season,
You
who's
got
willing to trade their
Yeah,
ace?
you got the guys to
At
trade.
the deadline, at the deadline, obviously, you make that move. But who would they have gone out and got? Like, who was the best starting arm at the deadline this year?
I don't know, but
Anybody they wanted. They probably could have got anybody they wanted.
well, you're likely going to trade for somebody who's on their last year of a multi-year contract. So, I mean, in theory, they could have gone out and got I think Jesus Luzardo was hurt at the beginning of the year, so never mind.
But that's not going to overturn their playoff rotation. Adding Jesus Luzardo.
No, but it provides depth for the season.
Yeah.
Like, I
They
think
won
they would have
94
loved to have
games.
been in the position where it's like they didn't even have to play a wild card series.
They tied the Blue Jays by the end of the year. They needed to win one
Bueller-
more game at one point.
I think Bueller was available for pickup. I think the Red Sox DFA'd him, right?
Yeah,
Halfway through the year.
Walker Bueller's certainly not the answer at
He's
the top
not
of the
saving
rotation.
any rotations. But yeah, so the Blue Jays
yeah.
are going to take on the Mariners. We know
Let's
at least early in the
By the way,
series.
that's an ALCS I love. That is
gonna be
awesome. I think
probably
Major League
something
Baseball,
next year, and that's going to be
They're-
the outfield a bit different.
they're not happy. I have to imagine the MLB office is like, what? Are you serious?
I think that Seattle as a team is fun enough to watch, and I think that Toronto as a market is big enough, even though all of Canada is going to be tuned in to baseball now, which is huge. But the team for Toronto is not nearly as exciting as the Yankees would have been or the Red Sox. I am going to enjoy it though because these are the two. I mean, they were the 1 and the 2 seed in the AL. These were the best teams in the regular season. So
The Vlad
That's what I've
Guerrero
learned.
grand slam in Game 2 was electric, though.
yeah,
I
That's-
think it's like shades of Raptors in 2019,
yes,
where it's like you've got the whole country just pulling for this team. It's awesome, and they're the only MLB team. It's not like hockey,
yeah.
where it's the same thing as like the Raptors. Like they're the only Canadian representation in that league.
Both of those fan bases
When
too
you-
are super tuned in. Seattle and Toronto really love their baseball teams. I don't know if you guys saw pictures from Game 4 of the Dodgers series, but that stadium was empty for a potential clinching game to go to the next series. You can't say the same thing about the NL franchises that you can say about Seattle and Toronto as far as their fans go.
I feel like everybody.
I would
mean,
argue
when
Cubs
you
fans are tuned in.
Cubs fans are always tuned in. I feel like.
There's a lot of hate
feel like
going
we're always-
on that I've seen from Cubs fans.
I'll
about
change
eating
this.
half
For
about
what?
Dansby Swanson. Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
totally agree with that.
Oh yeah. Okay.
The worst side of the fan base. Like
When you think of
Go
the
ahead,
Blue
Santo.
Jays, I feel like and them in the play. When I think of the Blue Jays in playoff, I just think of them choking it. I don't see them pulling it off.
that's for the Brewers, man.
Just off topic. Just off
Go ahead.
topic.
I mean,
how many
that too,
Dodgers
but-
games do you think have been played and home Dodger games have been in the playoffs in the last 15 years? Are we gonna take a guess here? I'm interested to
I'm gonna
figure
say
out how
what?
many home games they've
If
had.
they
Well,
play 3 in every, let's say they play 2 on average in the DS, and they play 3 on average in the CS, and then maybe 2, so 7 a year, roughly. I'd say somewhere in the high 50s, low 60s.
They've
So,
played.
yeah,
I
I'm gonna go
think
72.
they've made the playoffs every year since 2015. I think
I think. Was it 15?
2015
They certainly
they
made it
played the
in
Mets
16,
in the
obviously.
wild card or in the DS.
They were in 2015 because that was the Miguel Tejada.
I think maybe every year since 2012. I think maybe 2012 was the
Wow.
last year they
Yes.
made it.
Yes.
But at the same
Yes,
time,
so-
that's not
Yeah.
an excuse
Sounds
to
right.
not show up. You shouldn't. If you're a Dodgers fan, you can't be entitled. My team is entitled to play more home playoff games. Like that's not an excuse for like that's a bad
Yeah.
fan base if you're not showing up to your home playoff games, regardless of how many you make.
I think the big problem with LA always in the playoffs is it becomes like a show of status that you're there at the Dodgers game instead of actually like, I love baseball and that's why I'm here, or I love this team. So you see like
There's not
hundreds of celebrities are
Sure.
there.
Jason Bateman was
Yeah,
there.
that's
I know
one.
that.
Like, there's nobody that knows baseball. It just becomes like who's gonna be there? Who's gonna be there? That's gonna show up for this, World Series Game 5 or whatever. It's
also
not
wanna talk
people
about
that have baseball knowledge.
Roki Sasaki and his splitter, jeez.
Yes,
He's got guys out.
That's
He's got guys up there swinging first pitch just because they're so scared of getting to the splitter.
He's been unreal as their ninth inning guy. Like they just take their deep rotation and they just move the rest of the guys that can't start to the bullpen, and they now have like a serviceable bullpen, which they did not have going into the series.
I think, yeah, it's like
and that's
every
what's
year.
scary.
It's the Dodgers do this just about as well as I'm going to give credit to the Brewers and the Rays. Always, they take pitchers that were really struggling or that had weaknesses, and they turn whatever their strength is into massive strengths. Like Roki Sasaki, the fact that he throws 100 and has this wipeout splitter that just makes guys look silly. That's such a benefit to have. And yeah, I don't think I can't think of who's the Dodgers closer? Who's the closer been for them?
Blake Trinan. I think it's probably Trinan. Tanner Scott's been
Was it
bad.
I think didn't they just remove Tanner Scott from the
Is he
lineup?
not even on the CS
Yeah, he's
roster?
been
I don't-
injured. He's off the NLCS.
I don't- Yeah,
Vesio.
I don't even think he's on the lineup anymore.
So,
So
one more
they've been
question
better.
yes.
before we move
Speaking
on.
of
Go.
Is Clayton Kershaw going to make the NLCS roster?
Oh,
No, there's no shot.
He has to. You
Why
have
would
to
they?
have him in the
That you
clubhouse.
could not kick Kershaw off. You couldn't.
That's true.
I understand he's had his playoff
By the way-
issues, but
Did you
He's
see
the
him
veteran
pitch in
leader.
this series? He looked
Speaking of-
awful.
he did.
Speaking of silly, I think the Dodgers have played 60 home games in the playoffs since 2013.
Hey, I was pretty much on the money there.
Yeah. So I mean, like you said, Graham, there's
Yeah.
no excuse.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah,
including
no excuse for being entitled.
that. So that's
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
that's not
yeah.
including the divisional series, championship series, and the World Series.
I bet it's more than that because they played a couple wild cards in there too.
Yeah, 21 wild card for sure was there. That was great. Shot Alex Reyes.
Like you
all right,
have to imagine going to
Nope.
this is an issue.
playoff games. You kind of get tired.
No,
Nick
you
is
can't
definitely
get
an
tired
issue.
of. You can't get tired of going to playoff games. You don't deserve to have a good team if that is the case.
How
okay.
can you ever get tired of playoff games?
No, I don't have an issue with it. I would always I would never.
That's what you
But
just
you have
said.
to imagine that some people just after a while might just get tired. No, I would not. I should clarify on that. I would not get tired. But you have to think that like it's the same thing as like you look at some of these teams that are consistently good for a while in the postseason that eventually have their attendance drop down a bit. Like that, we've seen the Dodgers before Shohei Ohtani was there. The attendance started to drop a little bit. Yankees fans, after a while, they kind of made the playoffs. They wouldn't make it to the World Series. There'd be a few less people that show up to those games. And I feel like that's what we're seeing in Los Angeles, where it's like, some people, they aren't as interested in going to the divisional series as much every single year when they know that their team's going to easily move on to the championship series. I mean, as much as I don't like it, like,
That's being a bad
we
fan.
just talked about the Dodgers having an empty Game 4 at Dodger Stadium. I mean, if that Dodgers team is the first playoff team that we've seen in 3 years, we're probably seeing a nearly full capacity game. But it's just we haven't seen as much interest from Dodger fans in the first couple rounds of the postseason in the last couple years.
This is why I love when like underappreciated fan bases get to the playoffs. For example, like Mariners fans have always been there, right? And now you saw when they tied the game. I don't know how you do this as a TV director, but they just found a guy who was like clearly taking in the moment and was like letting his emotions out. But it's like that's what happens when you haven't made the playoffs since like 2004. Like he's been waiting for years and probably suffering through with that team, which is why it's so cool that the Mariners even made the playoffs this year. And the fact that they won a series, they're going to the NLC or the ALCS, that's what's cool. So like, I don't like it from Dodger fans, but it's LA. I feel like it's just a weird culture there. I don't love it. No. But you know what I also don't love?
Yes.
I don't love the fact that my team might win this game and then get smoked by them.
Yeah, that's not going to be a good shout.
And I bet if Austin was here, we could ask how confident he'd be going against the Dodgers. I bet he would not be stoked.
Nobody's looking forward to facing the Dodgers. Who is?
No. Nobody.
Yeah. All right. I think that about covers all our bases.
If the Angels are in this year.
Oh, we've brought up the Angels. Okay.
Well, the Angels? Why are we bringing up the Angels?
The Angels, that's our cue to move on.
Well, I mean, if the Angels,
we got Angels in the outfield? Like, what's going on here?
Like,
hockey. Nick, we can talk about the Angels any week. We have a lot of other things to do.
But where did the Angels come up in this topic?
I just wanted to talk about Ron Washington again.
No, well, we don't, and we're gonna veto that, and we're gonna move on to.
It was gonna be with
NHL
attendance. Like, if the Angels are in, I don't think we question that they have a.
Yeah. No.
Oh.
No.
Okay. Let's talk.
Their connection
the
is
NHL
abysmal.
kicked off this week. What, on Tuesday? Was Tuesday opening night, or was it Thursday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday was opening night.
Was
okay.
opening night.
They had a triple header on Tuesday. I've assembled some of our greatest hockey eyes on the panel today, and we ran long on baseball. So I want everyone gets to pick one take, one prediction, or one insight that you took from this week of the NHL season, starting with you, Lance. What's the one thing that stood out to you?
Well, to be honest, I'm not surprised, but like it's just Edmonton's goalie situation. Like Stuart Skinner sucks. He always sucks. They didn't go out and get a new goalie. They're just not going to win a Stanley Cup with Stuart Skinner in net. He's just horrible. I feel bad for McDavid. Like he just signed like the worst contract for him. Like he's the best player in hockey.
Super team-friendly deal.
Super team-friendly for no reason. I mean, and then it's this hope. It's like, hey, let's do it again with the exact same roster and see if we can do it. And I don't see them doing it with him in that. I mean, you could pull any goalie from any other team. Just Skinner is just not your guy. That's what I saw, obviously, I watched a couple games, but just watching them again, I was like, dude, like, what are you doing? And he just makes silly mistakes. He literally put one in his own net. Like, he's just weird.
Now, I know there's a name that's been thrown out that is very controversial, but Carter Hart is out there.
Mm-hmm.
Are the Oilers at a point where they would be willing to go out and get a guy that has some potential accusations?
Absolutely. I mean, he got to
quit. They need a goalie that bad.
At this point,
trying
like,
to win.
if he got like charged and whatnot, like the NFL Players Association said, hey, they're good to play. So I mean, that's a team decision where you're like, hey, maybe this guy has this like previous past. I mean, the Blues have it right now with our D-man Logan Malloy or whatever, Malloy, with some French last name. I don't know how to pronounce it. The reason he got so flack in his draft stock because he had the same accusations like some off the ice weird stuff going on. But I mean, Carter Hart's a dog. I mean, he's a stud. I mean, he's a great goalie. he could be a goalie anywhere. So I don't know why they wouldn't. But obviously with that type of stuff, and I mean, who knows what GMs want to do when there's that going on behind the scenes.
Go ahead, Brennan.
I feel like GMs are a little cautious, though, of taking on negative storylines when they don't have to, especially if things go poorly at that point, like if Carter Hart is just not himself.
Yeah.
So I would say that that's probably less likely than maybe they would trade. Like, there are teams that maybe have a little bit of goalie depth. So
100%. I mean, the Blues do.
There are teams that have – yeah, there's teams that have backups that could be starters and a lot of teams. And that's kind of where my mind goes. Like Joel Hofer probably for the Blues could be a starter somewhere.
Could 100%, yeah.
And he's had to step up to be a starter many times. So
yeah,
one, as a Blues fan, I think that's kind of where their strength is as an organization. It just seems like they always have depth at the goalie position.
Mm-hmm.
And they've even made trades, but I don't know as a Blues fan. Like I don't know if they're going to be very good this year.
Yeah, me too.
Once we get towards the deadline, like that goalie depth could maybe set us up for the future a little bit.
Well,
so
the thing is we've already robbed Edmonton. I mean, they gave us Philip Broberg, amazing D-man, and Dylan Holloway, amazing D-man, because they didn't want to pick up their contract, so we stole them from them. Dylan was a great forward, sorry, but yeah, I mean, we've already took 2 good guys from them, but I could see us shopping someone. I mean, I don't know, dude. It's just frustrating because we have the same problem every year. Like Justin Falk is a terrible defenseman. He sucks. Colton Parayko, he's a big dude, but makes mistakes. Like our defensive core just sucks every year, and that's why we lose every time.
I would actually argue that it's beyond, like it's the lines below Falk and Parayko that become the problem. It's the fact that they have no depth. Anyway, I don't want to make this all about the Blues.
Yeah.
But
what is your prediction, take, or insight from week 1 of the NHL season?
I love the Carolina Hurricane. I think they're fun. Yeah. Sebastian Aho and Jarvis, they're fun.
Yeah, they're good.
Seth Jarvis. So if I had a Stanley Cup prediction right away, like for whatever reason, they just seem fun. Like they're a team that I like watching. So
I'll say
I got in my prediction. I'm going to take the Carolina Hurricane to make it to the Stanley Cup this year. I think odds wise, I believe the Panthers are also somehow the third best for a three-peat. So I don't know if I'd like to watch that, but I got the Hurricane. They're the team to watch. I also saw my Blues are like plus 5,000 to make the playoffs. So that ain't happening. So wait till next year.
I didn't even give my prediction. Sorry. Again, like you just said, if it's not Carolina, I think it's Florida going back to back to back. Even though they don't have Matthew Tkachuk, he's still out till December because he played on like a torn adductor muscle. His whole he's ridiculous. And then Barkov tore his ACL, so their starting center or their first line center is out. So it's like they have 2 guys out, but the problem with that team is they have too much depth. Like they have people who plug in, and they just start off 2-0 right now. They're 2-0 already. So, I mean, they're a team that I don't see slowing down. But yeah, I see Carolina as a good number 2. But the thing with Carolina is they can never get it done in playoffs. They can never, ever, ever get it done in the playoffs. So that's the only. If they can get over that hump, then they should be able to win easily. They have a great roster. Great.
Lance, what do you think about Dallas? Like I know Dallas kind of walked away with the Central Division last year.
Dude, I don't see a difference with them. I mean, they have such a great lineup. The thing with them is like Jake Ottinger is a stud in net, but like they had such bad managing issues this past year in the playoffs where they pull him because he lets 3 goals in. They pull him, they put the backup in gets shelled. I mean, but again, the whole lineup is nuts. I mean, they have Mikko Rantanen is a dog, Jason Robertson dog. I mean, I don't see why Jamie Benn is still on the roster and/or their captain. I'm going to be honest, he's washed, so old. He just doesn't really provide much other than that captain role of being like a leader. But other than that, the whole roster is fantastic. I could see them.
Yeah, like I think Jamie Benn didn't even get to 50 points last year.
No, dude. I don't even know the last time he got 50 points. Because I have a lot of friends that are actually Dallas fans, and they all have the same like why is he still on our roster? But I like Dallas. I think they're in the terms of them being able to make a late push. I think we're going to look at a similar season as we are last year. I think it's going to be the exact same story again, which is unfortunate. But I mean, I could see Vegas doing some stuff too with Marner and Eichel running it, but I don't know. Only time will tell. I'd have to see more than 2 games.
Yeah, helps when you get to play the Sharks a bunch of times.
Dude, they're horrible. Oh my god.
I'd love to be in the same. Well, and as a Blues fan, like I guess
Yeah.
we kind of get that with just playing the Blackhawks over and over again now.
Yeah, we don't even
They're terrible.
Yeah, I feel bad for Bedard, dude. I mean, that is a bad team.
All right, Nick,
Yeah.
while you're here, one take prediction or insight from week 1 of the NHL season. Except he is muted.
He's talking in the air. He's
He
mouthing
is
stuff.
muted.
All right, so I'm gonna guess. Let's just predict what Nick Triplett's talking about. So he's brought up the Pittsburgh Penguins in some
He's
capacity.
going to talk about the Penguins certainly.
And actually, this is a fun fact. I actually don't know if I could name a Pittsburgh Penguin right now.
You don't know Sidney Crosby.
Sidney Crosby.
Okay. Somehow I thought Sidney Crosby was not playing on the Penguins anymore.
Dude, they've had the same top 3 players the last 20
Is
years.
Malkin still there?
Yeah, Malkin. Dude,
Yeah.
well, we were going to get into this if he started talking. Their whole line scored in that first game. Malkin to Crosby. Malkin scored as well. Like they both had 3 points each, I think. I mean, they're old, but dude, they get it done. I'll give them that.
Who they have in goal now?
Shit, what's his name? It's a big name, dude. Jari's still in that. Sorry, Jari's still in there.
Tristan Jarry, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking of the Bruins rookie there.
Jarry,
Yeah.
Jarry's still there,
There
but
you go. Oh,
Oh,
this is
I don't know if this is gonna work.
okay.
I think Nick's
Well, I heard that.
in a money laundering shop in China.
It's just Galatia, Illinois.
He's in a mattress firm.
I
What's he doing?
Gosh, it's good to be back in Galatia.
Don't
I
they like the testicle?
can't remember. I know we picked up a backup goalie from the Canucks.
Yeah.
I know that we picked up a guy from the Canucks, and so far he's looked a bit better. Jari just could not go the first 5 minutes, and he came last year without giving up a goal or having a situation where it was just like going to catastrophically fall apart for him and the team. And so
Right.
now
Yep.
we're able to
Exactly.
We may have to kick Nick. Yeah, I don't know if
Plug up the hot spot.
if we're getting the best out of this this appearance. Thank you for your time, Nick.
3 out.
3 out for the last half hour. We're gonna talk. Let's move into the NFL. We'll go briefly. The Eagles lose back-to-back games
He's tied.
on Sunday night or Sunday afternoon against the Broncos. They collapsed. They were up 17-3, 18-3, and they blew it. And then on Thursday night, they get abolished by the Jackson Dart and Cam Scadaboo-led New York Giants. And I think there's real problems in Philly. I didn't watch any of the game. I was watching baseball. Lance, I know you were watching the game.
Yeah.
Just what happened? What has happened to that team? I mean, the play calling seems to be an issue.
Yeah. The play calling's an issue, and dude, I won't even I'm not gonna just say it was all Philadelphia that went wrong. Dude, New York looked good. I mean, it's like they have, which is weird. You have 2 rookies at quarterback and running back, but dude, they turned it around. They looked electric, and that's a team that doesn't have a top 50 wide receiver right now.
No, you're saying little Jordan Humphrey had 50 yards.
Dude, I mean, it's just weird because Jackson Dart, he looks like he's poised. He's making great plays. Scadaboo's that dude just is not normal.
He's going to be out of the league by 26. But
Yeah. But
He's
that
gonna be fun
guy is
all
a
year.
freak, but he's New York's freak right now.
Yeah. You want to know my problem with this and what made me mad with the game is I look on fantasy, right? This is this is purely personal stuff. I go, Cam Scadaboo is facing the Eagles defensive line. I mean, you're that is a force to be reckoned with. And then he dropped
Impenetrable
30
unit.
on my bench. He drops 30 on my bench, throws 3 touchdowns, 100 yards. I mean, like, I'm like, what in the world? Like, I don't know. And plus, dude, I am infuriated watching Philadelphia play football. Like,
They're
don't care.
A horrible watch.
Dude, like, because I love Jalen Hurts. I mean, I do.
Yeah.
I'm an Oklahoma fan. I love him. I think he's a great player. But, like, what the hell are they doing? But they're like 4 tush pusses in a row where they false start on every one of them. It's like
It's just it's not a pleasant viewing experience like watching the Eagles.
And the Chiefs both this year have been just
I don't like watching
stuff.
That's the thing. That was the 2 difference. Like, I watched New York move the ball. I watched Jackson Dart scramble. I watched him make quick reads and make good throws. And then I watched Jalen Hurts get underneath Cam Jurgens' ass and just go, every play. And I'm like, what am I watching right now? And Philadelphia's like, well, stop it. I'm like, dude, like, this isn't football. I don't care what anyone says. I think it's so dumb. Like, watching a team just spam this QB sneak up the field.
And going back to the fantasy angle, you have Jalen Hurts he's a good fantasy quarterback for himself, but if you own any of the Eagles' weapons, you know how big of a problem that offense is. Because the only guy that's being fed consistently is Dallas Goedert.
Yeah.
My first two rounds, I drafted Saquon Barkley and AJ Brown.
Yeah.
And my team's awful because of that. Yeah.
Going into that is a side thing with the Eagles, dude. Their locker room issues are bad right now, and you can tell it's all everywhere.
AJ Brown,
he does not want to be there.
I think he's fully bubbled. Like, the tension that has been rising for now, like 4 years, ever since they acquired him, I think it's mounting to the point where, like, you saw him stop on that route against Denver, and then Hurts overthrows.
Did you happen to see the post game where they asked him about the players only meeting?
He's like, he just missed me.
Yeah. No, they had a players only.
Oh yeah.
Like Jalen and Saquon, and he was like, I don't know about that.
No, that didn't. I don't recall that meeting happening. Yeah, there's problems in Philly.
Yeah.
Which, again, like, Washington needs to make a move in that division because I think they're just kind of treading water right now. The Eagles are very gettable at this point, and Dallas doesn't have the defense to do it. Although their offense is fun.
I mean, they could have lost to Tampa Bay too. Like, they have had a rough.
And it took like an unreal. Their only good half of football all year was against the Rams in the second half, but they were being dominated in the first half of that game. Yeah, I'd be worried if I was an Eagles fan.
Me too.
The next story I want to talk about is quite possibly the greatest collapse in football history this week. The Arizona Cardinals leading 21-3 against the just utterly lifeless Tennessee Titans team that has showed no signs of being even remotely close to sniffing good at football.
Dude.
And just an impossible sequence of events transpires that leads to a Titans win. We've got Brendan who has active rooting interest in the Cardinals, and Lance who's a Titans fan. I had the Cardinals in my Survivor League, so I'll just let you guys take it away. I'll let Brendan go first and talk about his side of it.
Well, let me just say, I was in the building for this game.
Yeah.
Oh, you were in Arizona for that?
Yeah. Little fun fact. Little fun fact. I think we dropped this on the last pod. I do potentially work for the Arizona Cardinals, so. Yeah. So I do a bit of scoreboard production there, but anyway, the crowd got so restless, and there's stuff about the offense and whatnot, but I've just never I've never been in a building when somebody had a blunder like Emari Demercado did, and the fact that. Well, by the way, I'm a replay operator, so as soon as he scored and before they had even gone for the review, I had looked back. I'm scrolling back, and I'm like, oh my God, the ball, he's flicking the ball out. Like, they're going to say that he's lost control. Like, and at that point, we're all just like, oh no. Which, by the way, the Cardinals ended up scoring basically 14 points on themselves. Like, the bobbled interception and not scoring there is basically 14 points off the board for you.
Yeah.
Losing that game should have never happened. And Lance, I don't know, as a Titans fan, like I saw some stuff online that's like, Titans fans should actually be upset that they won this game because that means their coach, their coach isn't getting fired.
Bro, I literally came into this game or just I'm not even talking about the game, but the series. I'm like, or the whole season. I'm like, dude, I honestly don't see us winning a game, and I'm not even like. It's like, all right, I've already accepted that. It's like you said, dude. Brian Callahan is just an abysmal coach. I don't. Sure, he might have a decent offensive mind. Because correct me if I'm wrong, he's the offensive coordinator in Cincinnati prior. I want to say.
I don't actually know. Yeah,
I know he was an OC. He was a good OC somewhere.
So he was an OC in Cincy with Joe and then Jamar and T. Obviously, he had those weapons, so it's easy to make him look good. But he came in. I thought he was going to be a decent head coach, but dude, he is just atrocious. We have a QB coach calling plays on offense. I mean, it's like, what am I watching? Our team all around is just god awful.
Yeah, poor.
Dude, but like that's the thing where it's like I don't know, winning that game is upsetting because I would have rather have just not won a game and just shell the team at this point. But dude, I couldn't imagine. Well, this is kind of off topic with the Mercado stuff. The amount I know that's common, like we see people do this before the goal line. Like it's not a thing that's unheard of. I've seen it so many times this year already.
Why does it continue to happen?
Dude, it's this year. I've seen it in college a couple of times. I've seen it. I think we've had one in the NFL a week ago or something. But
yeah, it happened in Indy
A.D. Mitchell.
before.
Yeah,
A.D. Mitchell for the Colts.
Yeah, it's like, dude, hold on to the damn ball before you get in the end zone.
Like this. It's been a problem forever, but we had gone so long this year. We went like a full month without anyone doing it, and we were due for a regression to the mean. And it's happened. It's happening once a week now. People are just so excited to do their new celebration in the end zone. Like you just have to hold on to the ball, hand it to the ref. It doesn't matter, but just cross the goal line with the ball.
Brendan, what was the atmosphere like when a pick turned fumble turned touchdown?
So yeah, there was this little bit of noise on defense. Crowd goes nuts. You get an interception. They're still kind of going nuts as he goes to the ground, and then all of a sudden you hear the roar go from what? And then it's like kind of a boo. As the crowd realize that the ball is being fumbled around on the ground, that's when the elation kind of goes down again. Back to a murmur, and then it's like stunned silence. Like, wait, what?
Dude, that is such a Titans play.
Of course, it was Tyler Lockett that fell on it in the end zone.
By the way,
it's a heady veteran play that Tyler Lockett was maybe one of the only guys in the league.
Touchdown
from the box score. Doesn't that go as a pick six for Lockett or something like that? Like in the box score?
Dude, I had the same question. I don't even know what that gets counted.
He's getting a fumble recovery
for a touchdown. Yeah,
has to be.
But it's just so weird.
So who picked it off? Because whoever it was gets an interception and a fumble loss.
Actually, I forgot who did that. Hang on, let me pull up the box score.
Is Budda Baker still in Arizona?
Yeah, he is, and he's still quite good.
Yeah.
And I also want to say, just since we're talking about the Cardinals, Calais Campbell at 38, still bullying people is awesome.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Okay, the next thing that I want to move on to, Sunday Night Football and Monday Night Football. Couple upsets. The Bills fall at home to the Patriots. The Jags, if you want to call it an upset.
It was Dadrion Taylor Demerson.
Okay.
Which I'll just go ahead and say, which team are you more not impressed by, but do you think this is more they can continue this level of play, the Patriots or the Jaguars?
I think there's two for me personally. I like both of them. Yeah, I think I like both of them. First of all, number one, Mike Vrabel, man, when he's leading your team, as you can see, I mean, this guy brought Ryan Tannehill to the division round many times. I mean, it's weird.
Yeah.
But the fact we shipped him off and I don't even want to root for the Giants anymore. To be fair, I don't really give a shit about him anymore, just because it's just an abysmal franchise. But I love Vrabel, but I also leading Cohen is a goofball. He's an absolute cornball. I hate seeing him talk and do anything because I'm just like, why do you do the things you do?
Duval.
Dude, but even that, see him like square up with Robert Saleh on the field. He's like, "Wait, keep on going, Ralph." But dude, he's a great coach. Like he's a great offensive mind. I mean, like he said, because he was in Tampa Bay with Baker, and he elevated that offense obviously, and then he was
at Kentucky he made Will Levis look like a serviceable quarterback at the collegiate level.
Yeah. So I think he's great for them. I think they have two great head coaches and schemes now that make them both really good teams.
I think they could both be AFC. Like the AFC playoff picture has really opened up with the Ravens defense looking atrocious.
Yeah.
With the AFC, the AFC South has come to life. The Texans being maybe not complete dog has been good because the Colts and the Jags are now both 4-1. And then
what about the Tennessee Titans?
The Tennessee Titans and the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets are going to be racing for that first pick.
Dude, can we talk about that real quick? This is kind of off topic, but like when you look at the Jets roster and you think about like what they could be doing, I don't know why they're 0-5. I feel like they could have
are they 0-5 better than 0-5? They're 0-5. They're better than 0-5 though.
Dude, they're not like a 0-5 team. Like they can win the game, but like
they don't have shades of the 2016 Browns. Like
they're not lifeless. Like they move the ball. They have guys that can play defense.
Like they have a young team too.
They haven't put it together.
Wasn't it against Pittsburgh where they had that I think almost game-sealing interception that the coach was dancing down the sideline?
Yeah, it was against Tampa.
Oh, okay,
yeah. And then they came back and kicked
drive?
a field goal. Yeah, because Baker's won like 4 2-minute drive games in a row. So
yeah.
So those big upsets, and then I guess this week we've got Lions Chiefs on Sunday Night Football in Arrowhead.
Dude,
very excited for that.
I kind of like the Chiefs in a bounce back spot here.
Can I tell you what?
Growing on me.
Can I tell you what? I just don't like watching the football, like you said earlier. Like,
no,
I don't enjoy watching them anymore.
I think they're starting to improve. If they could get back to running the ball even remotely effectively, that should open up. And then once Rashee Rice comes back, you're gonna be able to use Xavier Worthy and Tyquan Thornton in exciting ways rather than like. I'll tell you what's killed the Kansas City
It's like
Chiefs.
necessary. Yeah, they're like using them just as like the utility. Like, all right, we can't. There's no exciting plays. We got to get 5 yards. Like,
well, what's killed them has been since they brought back Matt Nagy to call the offense. The direct link between them not being fun to watch was Matt Nagy being like coming back and being their OC. He is a terrorist. He's the worst. He's the opposite of Liam Cohen. He is an awful football mind, and he's ruining what should be the most fun team in the league. They have a quarterback that for 7 years showed that he was supremely capable of making unreal plays at the drop of a hat at any moment. And now he can't hit on a deep ball. He leads the team in rushing because his receivers can't get open. He had been. I know maybe Kareem Hunt was taking over.
I thought Pacheco had a decent game last week.
For the first 3 weeks, Patrick Mahomes was their leading rusher. I think in all 3 games. Like, it's dire in Kansas City. But I'm not worried about them missing the playoffs or anything, but they're certainly just not fun to watch.
The Arizona Cardinals have the same record as the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Dude, I know this is again off topic, but I was just thinking about it because I saw it earlier on Twitter, where people were talking about how like, hey, Amari Cooper probably retired for a reason after watching Geno Smith throw a ball.
Dude,
do you think he remains the QB there the whole season? Like,
I mean, like, what are they just going to go back to O'Connell or who's they back?
I don't know. Like that. Well, that's their own coaching problem, but like, dude, I love the whole Geno Smith revamp story, right? Don't write me off.
Well, I mean, he was good in Seattle, right?
Yeah, he was. But I just, dude,
he looks terrible. Like, he looks
he's
awful.
arguably the worst quarterback in football right now, which is
Like, watching him
it's hard to do.
I mean, he has a lot of interceptions this year, right?
Yes,
Like, his
he's
ratio
grading,
shows that.
and I don't know how seriously you guys take PFF grades, but he grades out worse than Jake Browning has, and Jake Browning has been catastrophic.
Which, dude, like, the fact they're bringing in a 40-year-old Joe Flacco and instantly replacing you, like, that should be like, what are we doing here?
Also, yeah, Joe Flacco's been horrible, and his PFF grade is still an improvement.
Yeah.
This year,
And hey, Joe Flacco has already beat the Packers once this year.
Can we
and
also
now he gets to play them again this week?
Can we also talk about the Browns? Because dude, I can't get over this. Like, dude, I hate Colorado for this because this fan base for Shedeur Sanders is so ridiculous, dude. Like, where they're all like, we're getting practice footage of a QB3. You know, of him stretching, like Bleacher Report's posting. Like, why do people give him the media like they do? I get it; it's clicks.
It's
like
he's Deion's son,
essentially,
yeah.
But it's ridiculous that he's done absolutely nothing. Like, he's
literally done nothing.
He's done nothing. He's done nothing, and statistically, like. Dude, Dylan Gabriel has what? I think has he thrown the most touchdowns in FBS history?
He might, yeah.
I think
he started the most games.
Real?
He started the most games, certainly.
I think
maybe like Case Keenum or Garrett Gilbert.
I think he took the. Can you look that up? Can we look that up real fast?
Yeah.
Who's the?
We'll do. FBS passing TDs all time.
Also, I just want, while we're talking about this, like, you can tell over the past week or so that somebody in media relations with the Browns has done some media training with Shedeur.
Yeah.
Because at first there was this, like,
the mouthing thing, the mime.
Yeah, the miming thing, and then this week it came from, he was like, "No, my job is to support Dylan, like, get him ready," and I'm like, "Well, wow, that changed," but it's still not great. And also, like, I'm sure you saw the Dion clip of him saying, like, "I don't give a darn about the Browns."
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel has thrown 155 touchdowns in FBS football, tying him in first with Case Keenum.
Okay, so that's what I thought. I thought he was up there. That's my point, because you can say, because obviously Dylan Gabriel was in college for 6-7 years, long time. Like, he played a lot of football. That's where I put him above Shedeur, because this guy is proved at a high level. He has experience. He's played a lot, and the Browns is trying to write him off just because his name is Shedeur Sanders. And I'm like, are you stupid? That's all wrong with Cleveland, and that's why they suck every year.
Regardless, they drafted Dylan Gabriel first. So, even if you think that Shedeur Sanders is better than Dylan Gabriel inside the organization, you have to start Gabriel first. And I think we'll see Shedeur Sanders at some point this year.
Oh, we
unless
will.
If Dylan Gabriel helps this team win more games, which I don't think is possible for any quarterback at this point.
No.
Then you would maybe.
I thought
see
he looked
him
okay
right
on
now.
Sunday.
He didn't look bad. I mean,
he was fine.
A couple touchdowns, like 200 and some yards, like.
Yeah, he was an improvement.
I mean, it's a debut performance for a rookie quarterback. I mean, there's only so much you can expect.
In London,
in a foreign country against a Brian Flores defense. And then this week he gets to go face TJ Watt.
And they almost won.
So,
mind you, they should have won.
Yeah.
Actually. But you know how that stuff goes. But yeah, I don't know. That I just wanted to talk about that because because number one, I despise Cleveland. I just think they're a garbage. Because again, I'm a Baker Mayfield enthusiast, so I'm kind of biased. But well, I mean, like, dude, I love how he reacts to like them asking questions about it. Like, how do you think he's? Like, that's not my problem anymore. And like they're paying 8 QBs right now. You guys see that? 8 quarterbacks. They're paying 8 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You'd think they'd have a worse quarterback problem than the Bears.
Yeah.
The Bears have their guy, apparently. That's the last game I want to talk about before we get to college football. Bears Monday Night Football rematch against the Washington Commanders. This was kind of like a tipping point game last season because both teams went into it 4-2. They were playing in the CBS primetime slot, and then there's the tipped Hail Mary that is caught by, I believe, Noah Brown. And Washington, from that point on, obviously goes on, makes it all the way to the divisional. And then the Bears their only win from that point on was the Packers in the last week of the season. Let's just hope for something better than that. That's even if it's not a Hail Mary, like even if it's a blowout loss or like a 2-score loss, I think that would be better for the Bears season than a soul-crushing Hail Mary. We'll see.
Dude, Chicago's offense is so loaded. I don't know how they don't blow everyone out.
Yeah.
They have
Ben
so many
Johnson
weapons. They have so many weapons.
Has made
Again,
it
we
his
need
job.
Austin here to start yelling about the Bears.
I can't yell about the Bears. I'm very even keel about the Bears. I have realistic expectations.
Isn't that what
right.
we expected with Ben Johnson, though? Right? Like, the offense is going to be fun.
Yeah.
That's what you bring from those Detroit teams of the last few seasons where they've just been a fun offense. And Caleb Williams is a good playmaker. I don't know if he's in the elite conversation yet, but like he's a good playmaker. And if you just put him in a position where he can use his strengths, like they're going to be good.
He's a top 5 improviser, certainly at the quarterback position. Say what you want about like in rhythm, like scheme plays. He misses a lot of wide open throws, more so than a lot of quarterbacks do. His accuracy is certainly questionable. But whenever you force him out of the pocket and he has to make a play, I would say he rivals Mahomes in that category.
Have you?
That's where the comparisons come.
I don't know because I know he's hurt right now, so I can't really speak on that. Plus, I haven't watched a lot of Chicago football. Is Colston Loveland looking like the pick that he deserved to be, or no?
I don't know why we drafted Colston Loveland with the 10th
Why was
pick.
he? Was it 10th pick?
It was either 9 or 10. He was
top
drafted
10, right?
Yes, before Tyler Warren.
Yeah, because Warren's 14, right?
Wow.
Or something like that.
I questioned the pick then. I still have questions about the pick.
Well, that's my problem because when you look at this team and you're like, dude, Cole Kmet is a stud at tight end. Like he's always been and you have Rome, a stud, DJ Moore, stud, DeAndre Swift, stud. You have like all these great weapons. I'm like, why do they draft
a tight end with whenever you have at the time they had glaring offensive line needs, and then they needed another pass rusher
too.
But I'm curious to see how they use him because we've seen. I mean, Ben Johnson does like to use a lot of 2 tight end personnel.
Yeah,
and Colston has been hurt, but like we saw the Bills sign Dawson Knox to an extension and draft Kincaid, and I mean I don't want to say that that's going supremely well, but it's going fine. Yeah. I didn't understand the pick then. I still don't. But I do want to shout out Ben Johnson and for unlocking Rome Odunze because Shane Waldron he is also a terrorist. He makes his receivers worse. He did it to JSN. He's currently doing it to Brian Thomas. And he did it last year to Rome Odunze and DJ Moore. Rome Odunze's been unlocked. I loved that pick 2 years ago. He was my favorite receiver coming out of that class. And he seems to be the guy, especially in the red zone, that Caleb really trusts, which I think is promising. All right, let's move on to college football. We've got 15 minutes or so that we can talk.
I was just going to drop one more thing. I think the NFL landscape is a little more exciting when the Bears are relevant. Like, you just get a big fan base that is just not checked in, and I think it just hurts the sport. So, and it's just been Green Bay and in Detroit for the last few seasons that have been really what you're going to consider is like
the whole division has been really good, and the Bears have not been. But
it's been really good, but they've essentially been the laughing stock of that division, though. Like everyone, all 3 of those teams were counting the win whenever they played the Bears. So, anyway, I think it's good that the Bears are at least so much of a better watch this year.
Yes, and
we got to talk about UCLA now, right?
Yeah, we're talking college football. This is really the only game that I really need to talk about before we get into this week's slate. Penn State is deader than dead. Like, coming off the Oregon loss, we talked about, hey, James Franklin can't win the big one. Well, he's always made a living off winning the little ones. And UCLA had not led a football game for 1 second against New Mexico, against UNLV, and against Northwestern. And they led wire to wire against Penn State, who was a top 10 team.
Can I say that, dude? Because like, I don't know about y'all, but like, I'll be up at night there's a game on at like 9:30, 10. I'm like, let's watch UCLA play football. And I'm like, what the fuck am I watching now? Like, I'm like, dude, I'm like, because I don't like Nico. I don't like what he did. I don't like what happened with Tennessee. I think he's privileged. I think, all that stuff I'll leave up. That's not even a part of this. But that's the whole reason I watched it. Like, I kind of like watching this guy lose and what happened. The whole story here, it's like, it's a joke. UCLA looks awful. I think you should fire James Franklin for that happening, period. Because this is a team that was, ranked number 2 starting the season?
Number 2 in the preseason poll.
Yeah. Which, you can't really, that's all subjective. You can't really.
Again, yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. But, dude, that is a team that you could, plus they had a brand new OC calling plays, former QB, 2012, 2015, I think it was. Interim head coach.
Looks like he's about 15 years old.
Looks like he's 12. Sunshine.
Looked him up, by the way. He's like 32.
Yeah.
Dude, he was good for him. He was young then.
Brett Hundley's backup. If you guys remember Brett Hundley at UCLA, he was his backup.
Yeah. I don't even know, because I know in the in our our prep stuff we're talking about recent history,
similar upsets and stuff like that.
I just can't believe Penn State, they only gave up 30 to Oregon, but they gave up 42 to UCLA.
Dude, well, it reminds me of not entirely on a scale of Notre Dame and NIU. It's like, how do you lose this game?
I think it might be worse, and it is. I understand that
UCLA NIU would be a good game. So
right now,
UCLA could not have been more dead than they were. They were an actual corpse walking in.
Have you seen the crowd panned there? That game?
Less than they were possibly 4 digits, not even 10,000 people there.
They were like, let's storm the field, this win, and there's 40
I was going to say, did you see the people try to storm the field and immediately be like, no, we're going back?
Yeah, it's never mind.
Plus, mind you, half the team, there's a good chunk of the team that got in the portal is not playing, redshirting and et cetera.
That is the worst possible L you can take for Penn State. And if the college football tries to putting them in, I'm gonna revolt.
They have to win every game for the rest of the season by 20 plus, and they have to beat Ohio State. It's on their schedule.
Yeah.
I still think any team that has Ohio State on their schedule is in play. Illinois, if they win today, their season is not over. I don't think they'll win today, but if they do, they can go 11-1 and they will make the playoff because Ohio State's really good. But Penn State is not showing me a lot of things at the moment that make me think this team is capable of beating Ohio State.
I would say with Illinois, I struggle to believe that Ohio State's going to cover 15. I think they don't play a style of offense like Indiana where they can score in bunches.
That's the thing, dude. That's where I get giddy talking about this stuff, dude. I think if a team punches Ohio State in the mouth, they're not that. There's number 1 caliber teams.
We've seen it with Michigan every year. Michigan last year was awful. Illinois beat Michigan handily, and then Michigan goes into the shoe.
We're in Champaign today, right?
Yes, in Champaign.
Okay, I think if Brett Bielema is able to get that team to hey, you need to punch this team in the mouth, go out there and show them who you are right away. I think it's a lot closer than people
can they
think.
handle adversity?
Sure, Ohio State beat Washington, right? That's their one team. You can't even count their win against Texas. They scraped Texas, which we'll get into Texas in a little bit, but I haven't seen Ohio State as oh my gosh, this team is unreal. Obviously they have Jeremiah Smith, Parnell Tate, arguably one of the 2 best receivers, I think. But other than that, and Caleb
defensively,
Downs, you have a young, great defensive team, but you have a young quarterback that hasn't faced adversity yet. Realistically, on paper, I don't.
And I think
Graham,
Go ahead.
How are you enjoying being relevant now? You're getting all the big noon kickoff games. You enjoying life now?
No shit.
I was there for the ReliaQuest Bowl against Mississippi State. That team, it's interesting that
that's tough. That sucked.
2 out of 3, 2 weeks out of 3, they're going to Champaign. I think that's fun.
That's cool. That's good for Illinois. I think it's good to have Illinois relevant in football. I like it. But
I think so. Talking about the game today, I think it's going to entirely hinge on how ready Ohio State is, just on how they play. This team, the Illinois team, will not roll over and lose like they did to Indiana again. They're playing at home. They saw what happened. Like, they don't want to feel that again. Bielema has, like, I know the leaders in the locker room are not going to let that happen to the same degree. The question is, what style? Like, if Ohio State wants to come out and try to, like, run it down our throat and do what, like, they're going to beat us by being tougher than us, like they do against Michigan, then we're going to be right in this game. But if they want to unleash their weapons on the edge and really, like, our secondary, which was already average, is depleted. Like, what's Mekhi Lemon, USC kid, 2 weeks ago,
that was
lit us up. He had like 15 catches for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. Our secondary is atrocious, and Ohio State has the best receiver room in the country. That's an obvious weakness. If they want to say, we're going to exploit this immediately.
Got to look towards the pass rush.
I was about to say, if your pass
Dave
rush is on
Akis-
point, you have a chance. If you're just not,
Dave
you're going
Akis
to
needs to get to the quarterback, which Ohio State's line is good.
Yeah, I will say every year there's at least one weakness on the Ohio State offensive line. Like last year, as a Nebraska fan, like that's the reason we kept it close. There was like a backup right guard in, and so every time it was just whatever the best pass rusher was lined up across from whoever the right guard was.
Yeah.
Or the right tackle. So you got to find the weakness and expose it, but you got to get to him, get to Sand or get him out of the pocket because, you can't
If he gets in the pocket,
Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith run wild against the secondary.
Yeah,
I want to talk about Indiana, Oregon too. I think that's a good
let's
game too.
CBS on 2:30. The Illinois game starting in about 10 minutes, but Indiana, Oregon 2:30 on CBS. Oregon's getting a touchdown and a half point at home against Indiana. The Oregon win that they've hinged their season on at this point is Penn State, which it's a road win in a tough environment, but we just saw that team may not be any good.
Yeah, dude, that's what confuses me about all this. It's like,
we
what
know
the
that
hell?
Indiana is good because they beat Illinois by 53, who is
talk about a team that would never lose to UCLA. That's Indiana. Oh man.
I kind of like Indiana here. I think it's going to hinge
it'll be
again
close.
on quarterback play. If Dante Moore is good, then Oregon has better weapons and they'll win because they're at home. But Indiana's really good. Like there's no debating that. But 7.5 is so weird in any Indiana game. You feel like it's not going to be close.
That's what I love about Indiana this year, dude.
Either way, like they could lose by multiple touchdowns. They could win outright, but I don't think they're losing a close game.
That's what I like about Signetti. It's like, what you look at Indiana and you're like, why are you here? What do you mean? You're a top 15 team in the nation.
Yeah, number 7 in the country.
Yes, it's like, yeah. Are they number 7 right now? Oh, they are number 7. So yeah, top 10.
Yeah. Number 3 and number 7. Great week in the Big Ten with those two games. And then Michigan.
I actually think
USC
the
at
Big
9.
Ten has a much better slate this week than the SEC.
Yeah.
The SEC slate this week isn't very good.
Michigan USC tonight at 6:30. USC at home, they're 2.5 point favorites. I think USC could dog walk Michigan. It's all about, again, I'm going to say this for every game. Are we ready to let Bryce Underwood take the reins, or are we going to keep babying him? Because USC is ready to go and win now, and Michigan hasn't proven that they can win anything with Bryce Underwood at quarterback at this point.
No.
I think Bryce Underwood's very good. And the way he uses his legs, though.
Yes.
I mean, he has the ability to change games.
If he can, I'm just saying, if they take the training wheels off him, yes, they could beat it. Like, he's talented enough to where he can beat anyone.
When Sharon Moore wasn't coaching, it seems like he had a lot more
freedom,
leeway to do more stuff, and that he was playing a little bit different.
Sharon Moore, I think, is arguably the worst.
I think he's
coach
the problem. I think he's the problem. I don't know why he's a coach. Like, I'm being honest. Like, I don't know why he's the head coach for the Michigan.
Because at some point after Harbaugh left, he had to leave someone behind to eat the sanctions that the NCAA was going to give the team.
Yeah, I get the reason of why.
I know how Michigan's good. They've got Dave Portnoy giving them millions of dollars every year to buy me a roster.
What's the Oracle guy as well that donates all his money?
Yeah.
He went to Illinois, by the way, but his 12th wife that he's currently married to is a Michigan alum. So he
Well,
gets
that's
all
the
those
thing,
money.
dude. I mean, you look at Michigan's roster. You know, Justice Haynes is a stud. Like, yeah,
Justin Haynes is great. They can run the damn ball. That's what they
yeah,
do.
they can. Well, I mean, that's the thing against Oklahoma. They broke off one big run that a safety missed on an assignment, or he would have been held to 40 yards the whole game. I mean, that's just what it was. But McCauley's a stud too. He provided that this past game for Wisconsin, which again, Wisconsin is its own story. But
Yeah.
When is Fickle gone this year?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can we just bring that up?
Has to be. Has to be.
He's just not a culture fit for Wisconsin, I don't think. He hasn't been able to recruit the right guys. They need to play smash mouth football. And
I wouldn't say he's a bad coach, but he
arrow-
definitely does not.
He's not.
bad
We saw
coach.
he had led the Cincinnati Bearcats to a playoff spot in the American. Like he can obviously do it. He just can't do it at Wisconsin.
Yeah, he's
You
just
know,
not
I feel like with this is I feel like Wisconsin deserves it a little bit. Like, did we take Paul Christ for granted up there?
Yeah.
Are we
Yes, they
taking
did.
9 wins for granted up there?
They were so furious whenever this Illinois team went into Madison and won by 24 points, and they're like, we have to fire our coach. Like, no Illinois team should ever win by 3 touchdowns against Wisconsin. And now Illinois is
I
significantly
feel like we're in this
better
circle
program.
of like maybe we're getting humbled now. So we're now at the bottom here. And Wisconsin's like, all right, maybe we weren't as good as we thought we were. Maybe we're not a top team like everyone thinks
the
we
Big
are.
Ten.
So now we got to, yeah.
All right, let's do 2 more games. Let's do Alabama-Mizzou first, 11 a.m. on ABC, about to kick off. Missouri's a home 3.5-point dog. I kind of love this spot for Missouri.
I do
This is
too.
the biggest game they're going to play all year, and Alabama has played a bigger game 2 weeks ago. Like,
Can I talk? I don't know if you saw my text, dude. I don't know why on earth. Where's game day today?
it's
Do we know?
it's in Eugene. It's in Oregon.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then, that makes sense. I just didn't like Alabama Vanderbilt as game day last week because I get the whole stigma around it, but I think if there was an SEC matchup that like with Bama, I think it should have been this week.
Mm-hmm.
I like Missouri over Vanderbilt any day.
Which
It's
both
at
are upstart
Mizzou,
programs.
right?
Yeah, it's in
Yeah.
Columbia.
I think
By
this
the
is
way,
gonna be-
imagine in Columbia the game day set with the columns behind it. That would have
Yeah,
been
I think it
awesome.
Electric.
I think it was great. I think this is what they should have done is have a Missouri, give Columbia, the Columbia crowd rooting against Missouri because I mean Missouri's they're slept on right now. They
They're
had a
undefeated.
great
I don't
break.
think
They're a top 15
When's the last time they
team.
had game day though? Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
Did they
I
ever
have
have
no
it
idea.
in like the Drew Lock era?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't. That's something you'd have to look up. But
I mean,
dude,
2007.
I look at Oklahoma's schedule right now, like the last half, and that's the last game of the year where we play Missouri, and I'm like, that's the team that like sneakily scares me because I've watched every other team this year, like SEC and all, and like there's only a couple that I'm like, that's a good team, and like it's just not. I've gotten to the point where I think the Big Ten is better than SEC. Again, I'm gonna. Oh, we're cutting
I
out here.
think you could make that argument.
You're cutting out. You're cutting out, Graham.
The SEC
You're in a
has some
tornado.
depth.
You're cutting out. You're in a
I
tornado.
think, yeah. I think you're exactly right, Lance. I think the SEC has more depth. Like the bottom of the SEC and the mid part of the SEC is much better than the mid to bottom part of the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
Because you've got like mid to bottom of the Big Ten, you're talking like, I guess maybe you got like Nebraska.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Illinois. Illinois is probably up there though.
Yeah, they are up there now.
But you got Nebraska, Maryland. Maryland's 4-1 right now. Like, Rutgers has had a pretty good season. So,
did they win last?
But then the
night? I know
top,
they played.
Oh, I have no idea. Was it?
They played on Friday. It was. I don't know who they played. I can't
Well,
remember.
Washington's had a pretty
Washington.
decent season too.
Washington.
Yeah. Who won that? Washington. Yeah.
Washington did. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. But like you've got Indiana, Ohio State, I guess Illinois, and Oregon. Like at the top of the Big Ten right now, and USC. USC is a good football team too. So
it's
I'd
weird
like to
this year.
see like Oregon. If you put Oregon up against Georgia, I think that's a great football game.
Dude, I think that's a great tip. That's the thing today. So, like, I mean, I think Auburn is just, I think I said this. I think it was 2 weeks ago I was on here. Auburn, man, like, they have the tools, but Jackson Arnold is just a horrendous quarterback, and Hugh Freeze doesn't know how to call plays. And they just – I think they're going to get mollywopped today probably, but I feel like they shouldn't because I see Georgia, and I'm just like, it's not the same Georgia I watch still, though. I'm not, like, scared of Georgia. I'm not, like previously, these teams are like, I don't know, dude. The college football landscape this year is so weird and broad, and like it confuses me every week when I watch these teams because I'm like, at first,
slowly. Dang.
2 out.
2 out now. So we've gone from 5 out to 4 out to 3 out, and now it's 2 out.
We're in a
All right,
one.
Lance.
What's up?
I guess what's the last game we want to finish up with here?
Well, I know on the slate we were talking about Red River, which I'll get into. Oklahoma versus Texas.
Let's finish with that because I think this is a good story to come off of the Arch Manning just horrendous performance we saw at Florida last week.
Yeah,
I think even as an Oklahoma fan, it's a rivalry, so it'll be close. But all the pressure's on Texas here, right? I mean, it has to.
Yeah, it kind of though, because I feel like everyone's like watching Texas and they're expecting Oklahoma to blow them out, but obviously I don't think that's how it's going to go. We have a lot of weird.
Never does in these rivalries.
Situation. No, it doesn't matter. Like this game's going to be smash mouth, and it's going to be taught every time. It is every year. This game, it's an Ohio State Michigan-esque like rivalry where they just hate each other. Like they don't like each other. Everyone hates each other. I think this whole game is going to be on Texas's offensive line, which was horrendous against Florida. If they cannot hold our D-line, which is the greatest D-line statistically in college football right now, they are going to get mollywopped. I don't like because Arch Manning has not proved anything under pressure. I don't even think he's proved anything without pressure. I mean, I don't. It's sad to watch him.
And I don't think him
now.
Scrambling for his life is how you win a football game.
No, and right now you can't because this Oklahoma defense is like Brent Venables is just a mastermind, man. Like the Oklahoma leads. I know I sent you that the other day, Graham, of like the leading the first, like they're first in almost every category, like
stat.
Quarterback pressures, sacks, like everything. So if they can't stop the D line, I think they destroy them. I mean, I just don't see them putting up a fight. I'm excited though because every year this is my game to watch. I love this game.
Yeah, I will say I'm going to pick. I think Texas is going to look a lot better this week.
Yeah,
they now have something to prove.
That's where I said I don't think because they say this is Texas' game to lose because like they're going to be counting this whole revenge arc thing. You know, they just got beat in the swamp by a pretty bad Florida team. It's going to be you gotta because if Texas loses this game, I don't know who they beat next because their schedule is. I don't know.
It's a tough-ish schedule. I mean,
I think they play Georgia next week.
Yeah.
I think they play Georgia after us. So it's like they're on a downhill slope, and it's to the point where, like, do you bench Arch Manning if he sucks today? like if he gets absolutely murdered by, arguably right now, statistically the best defense in college football, do you bench this guy for some random no-name that comes in and throws an 18-yard dart for your golden boy of college football? I don't think Sarkisian can do it because I don't think he has the balls to do it. But
you know what? I think Texas fans deserve this because they've been calling for the last 2 years. They wanted Quinn Ewers out and Arch Manning in. So,
dude, and I say this every time someone tells this to me. If Quinn Ewers was like if Arch Manning was the greatest, like Feinbaum said, the greatest prospect he's ever seen, the greatest football, why was he sitting behind a injured, riddled 7th-round quarterback in Texas? If he was your best option to win last year, he would have been the starting quarterback and went into the national championship with him if that was their whole narrative. And that's where I'm out on Arch Manning every single time that someone tries saying that he's so great. Because Quinn Ewers got taken advantage for. Like they took him for granted because obviously you see how that's gone so far. But
I think I said this to you when we talked about it, Lance. I think, like Brendan mentioned, you have to be worried about the Texas revenge spot because they are playing for their season. There's a 50% chance that we are getting a top 10 Texas team today that is going to be playing for their lives. And even in that case, I still think I'm trusting the Oklahoma defense and the Oklahoma quarterback more than I trust the opposite end for Texas.
And that's where I love this today because everyone's back. And then John Mateer, the whole fucking – I mean, because you have this guy who is coming back from a 17-day recovery for surgery. And if you don't think this team's going to rally behind a guy who has nuts like that, you're out of your mind.
I got to find the Brett McMurphy tweet. That was one of the funniest tweets that I think has been.
he may or may not play.
According to my sources, John Mateer might play or he might not. That's essentially what he
Seriously?
said.
Yeah, dude. He
Brett
tweeted. I was
McMurphy,
like, come on.
with 320,000 followers.
We can play this game with anyone in football. Hey, Arch Manning might play, or he might not play.
Might not play.
I love how they use the Washington State like he hasn't played for Oklahoma all year.
Wait, can we scroll down? I want to see a comment. What's the top comment here?
It's good. We've got it down to 2 options. Can you guys see the actual McMurphy tweet?
Yeah.
Up here? Okay.
Yeah.
Sources
I saw that same thing
confirmed
before
to
you
Graham
sent it to me. I just
Dinas
shook my head.
that Graham Dinas might or might not play versus Ohio State today.
Yeah,
funny.
I don't know.
But yeah,
I'm excited. I'm excited.
There's the other 50% chance that we get an awful Texas team that lays down and dies, and Oklahoma just beats them 20.
So, dude, that's the thing, though, because the amount of – so last year, bro, like that's what I'm saying. Everyone's out on Oklahoma because they watched the worst Oklahoma team of all time play last year because they had everyone hurt and no one. And you have Jackson Arnold at the helm, which everything you see now, he's exactly what he was last year. He's a he doesn't have a turnover yet, but he's gotten sacked like 24 times. And I don't know. I'm excited because I like the whole new narrative. I love Brent Venables. I love the defense, dude. He's just so smart when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. So it depends, bro. And he knows mind games too. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. If Arch Manning throws a first quarter interception, oh man, place is going to be jumping.
So the fun thing is, bro,
I think they just need to rattle him.
That's how we are against Texas. Last year, first throw of the game, Quinn Ewers throws it to Billy Bowman. Interception, first play of the game. It's like we always force a lot of turnovers against Texas. So I just know it's going to be gritty and it's going to be really tough. And there's going to be a lot of shit talking. There's going to be a lot of heads smashing each other. And I'm excited. I also, because I don't know if you pay attention to college football or not, if you really know what's going on, the whole Jaden Ott situation at Oklahoma, like you have this guy who comes from Cal as a first round pick, and his last game against Kent State, he finally got a carries because he's finally healthy, and like. Everyone's like saying he might pop off today and he's going to get a lot more carries. And I'm interested to see how he does because that guy's getting paid like millions of dollars to be on our roster right now. And he has maybe 14 carries on the season. So I'm interested to see how he does today. And I think people will maybe see that, but we'll revisit this after the game. And I don't know. We're just going to have to see how it goes.
We'll table this for next week.
Yeah. We'll save that for next week. Thank you guys again for listening to 5 Out, which became 4 Out, which became 3 Out, which briefly became
and 2 out,
and now we're back to 3.
Grant, by the way, I want you to know, Lance and I would have had this thing on lock, even if your connection was great.
I've
we were ready to pick
the stream the whole time, and as soon as I got booted, I was like, okay, let me unmute the stream so I can still hear what you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
We've got something.
No, we had this. We are professionals around here. You're the quarterback, and we're professionals around here.
Before we end, who's LSU play today? I saw a graphic and I can't remember.
South Carolina.
South Carolina. That's the game I want to watch too. That's the game I think.
I hope LSU loses so bad. I want the season to be over for them. I just don't like Brian Kelly. I don't like him.
I think there's a lot we can talk on eventually.
I want to see him get just him in a press conference after they lose. It's so funny. He's so mad at anyone asking any question about the football game. Well, what did you think was going to happen?
What'd you watch?
You can't just run the ball every play. Yeah.
I watched the game.
Did you think we just didn't want to pass the ball? Yeah, it's just whatever it is. Oh man.
Yeah, dude.
I live for this.
All right. Well, Links to all our socials are in the description. Like the video, subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you same time next week. Thank you guys. Okay, I had to end the stream on YouTube.